Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jesse Cordray.
And I'm Anne-Marie Toller. Thanks for joining us.
Developing news out of Indiana University, the school announced this afternoon it has fired men's basketball coach Tom Crean.
NewsLink Indiana's Brianna Bobbitt is here with us to tell us more on the story. Brianna, good evening.
Good evening. After an 18 and 16 year and just 7 conference wins, Indiana University is moving on from Tom Crean. In 9 seasons as Hoosier head coach, Crean led the team to 4 NCAA tournament appearances and 2 Big Ten regular season titles. He won over 160 games with IU and led the team to the Sweet 16 3 times. However, after failing to meet high expectations this year, frustration grew from fans, leading to Crean's firing. At a press conference today, IU Athletic Director Fred Glass explained the move.
The expectations for Indiana University basketball are to perennially contend and win multiple Big Ten championships, regularly go deep into the NCAA tournament, and win our next national championship and more after that. We will identify and recruit a coach who will help us meet these expectations.
IU will begin searching for a replacement immediately. One thing to note, UCLA head coach Steve Alford, whose team is playing as 3 seed in this year's NCAA tournament, publicly expressed interest in the IU job.
Interesting enough, we have Tom Crean out into the cold here in the state of Indiana. With the cold weather here, hopefully we've got some warmer weather coming. Tony, what do you have with us over at the weather wall?
Yeah, guys, I actually have some good news. We are in for a little bit of a warm-up. Not so much today, though, as you see current temperature sitting around 41 degrees. With that 10-mile-an-hour wind, though, really feeling more like 35. I'll be sure to tell you in your full weather forecast about a possible snow chance coming up this week, a slight warm-up, and, of course, your full St. Patrick's Day forecast.
Spring means warm weather and a chance in the campus bus service. It's a change that makes some unhappy. David Kahn is live in the newsroom with the story.
Ball State students are familiar with the red and green loop routes that travel through campus, but there's a third route that recently ended for the school year, causing some inconvenience given the chilly weather we've had this week. The Ball State shuttle buses serve many purposes for people on campus, from getting students to their classes faster to keeping them out of the cold outdoors. The bus's red and green loops are available throughout the entire school year, but the blue loop, which runs through the neighborhoods east of campus, ended at spring break. The blue loop is only used during the winter time every year between Thanksgiving and spring break, meaning students returning from spring break who ride the buses on that route can no longer do so with the wintry weather Muncie has been having this week. One neighborhood east of campus affected by this are the Greek Life houses on Riverside Avenue.
Yeah, I think it should. I think the blue loop's used just as much as every other bus on campus is. I think so many students live in this route right around here. I don't understand why. It could be a difference. It's one bus. It can't be that expensive. And I feel like it would help a lot of students get to their classes on time and be more motivated to not skip class.
The Delta Tau Delta house has members who use the blue loop when it is running.
The week we came back from spring break, which is this week, it's probably one of the worst weather weeks we've had since we've been in school. So I think it definitely should be year-round shuttle. Yeah, basically.
Now, Ball State Supervisor of Bus Operations Bruce Piner said the Blue Loop started in 2007 to help the students who live east of campus in the cold months, and they are also looking into making changes to the route for the future. In the newsroom, David Kahn, NewsLink Indiana.
For more information about campus transportation, including bus routes, check out bsu.edu and search campus shuttles.
President Trump's revised travel ban is under pressure. The American Civil Liberties Union Immigrants' Rights Project says that the revised travel ban is, quote, a Muslim ban. One of the attorneys in the Maryland lawsuit against Trump's revised travel ban says that the court saw through what he called the government's, quote, maneuvering and recognized that the new order for what it was. Trump argues that the revised travel ban is legal.
The order he blocked was a watered-down version of the first order. that was also blocked by another judge and should have never been blocked to start with.
The judge who's challenging the ban issued the order early Thursday, saying the ACLU and other groups were likely to prevail on their argument against the ban. The ACLU said the judge's order also is important because it will remain in place, quote, through the trial and not just for a couple weeks.
President Trump released a $1.1 trillion budget outline today. Within the budget outline is a proposed plan to increase defense spending and cuts worth of $54 billion to non-defense spending at the State Department, Urban Development, and Department of Housing, along with many other agencies. Within the outline, there are only 3 agencies that will see a boost in funding. Those agencies are Homeland Security, Veteran Affairs, and Defense. Large parts of the federal government and popular programs, big and small, will see budget cuts or have funding cut off entirely. Congress will have the final say in the budget, and several lawmakers have already expressed opinions to many of the proposals.
The president believes in diplomacy, and we believe that this budget protects that core function of the State Department. It just so happens that much of the foreign aid that the president talked about in campaign, much of the money that goes to climate research, green energy, those types of things are actually in the State Department budget. If those line items had been in the Department of Commerce, you would see Department of Commerce having gone down by by a similarly large percentage. So the answer to your question is that most of the cuts within the State Department try to focus directly on foreign aid.
The Trump administration will release its full budget in May. Trump also detailed his wishes to eliminate federal support for the Great Lakes restoration. The program helps to protect the region of the Great Lakes from hazards such as pollution, as well as restoring wildlife to the area. The program has spent over $2.2 billion on its mission and has generally received $300 million a year from the government. A vote in Congress saw a motion passed to authorize the program for 5 more years.
Donald Trump is opening up about his tweet earlier this month, accusing President Obama of having the wires tapped at Trump Tower. The allegation drew immediate calls for evidence and led to back-and-forth qualifications from the White House. Trump not providing any proof, but not backing down either, Reed Binion reports.
Wiretap covers a lot of different things.
President Donald Trump breaking his silence Wednesday on his claim that former President Obama ordered wiretaps on Trump Tower.
I will be perhaps speaking about this next week.
Trump, still offering no evidence, defended the accusation by vaguely citing media reports that he had seen and hinting that more will be revealed in the coming weeks.
I think you're going to find some very interesting items coming to the forefront.
FBI Director James Comey offering no response to questions on the issue Wednesday.
Director Comey, have you seen any evidence that President Obama wiretapped Trump Tower?
Comey's boss, Attorney General Jeff Sessions, asked if he had given Trump any reason to think he was wiretapped, was blunt.
The answer is no.
Fellow Republicans in Congress casting further doubt on Trump's claim.
I don't think there was an actual tap of Trump Tower.
I've seen no evidence of a wiretap being requested.
Nothing that would suggest President Obama had President Trump wiretapped at Trump Tower, as far as you know.
That's correct.
Senator Lindsey Graham also saying he hasn't yet seen evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia, and voicing the frustration felt by lawmakers with the time it's taking to get what they need from the Justice Department.
The longer it takes to answer my letter, the more concerned and suspicious I'm beginning to be.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Coming up, we have the latest on the GOP's new health care bill.
Plus, we take a look at what's happening to our safety on local bike trails. All that and more after the break.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it. I got a pizza for a Todd. Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Healthcare bill made it out of the committee. The bill to end the Obama-era healthcare coverage advances to the floor for consideration. House Speaker Paul Ryan is defending the bill, arguing that it is about giving Americans more healthcare coverage with access to plans that they can afford. While Republican leaders have said that their aim is to lower costs, many Democratic lawmakers believe otherwise.
It's a fraud. It's a sham. It's a charade. It's a Hollywood-style production that will destroy health care in America.
Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb wants to preserve Medicaid funding in the new healthcare overhaul. Holcomb said that it needs to be fixed and says a plan led by Republicans in Washington is an appropriate first step. Adding to that, it's important, quote, "We are compassionate and continue to cover the Hoosiers that we are right now."
A man from Greenwood has been sentenced to over 2 years in prison for fraud and false tax returns. Troy L. Sissom learned his fate yesterday in a court hearing. Prosecutors said that he stole more than $2.7 million from a construction company where he worked as a project manager. They said that he was generated false invoices under the company which he created, and he submitted those invoices to the company he worked for at the time.
Last month, 2 teenagers, Liberty German and Abigail Williams, were murdered on Delphi's historic trails. The Delphi Bank is offering to pay for cameras on the trail. NewsLink's Kelsey Anderson reveals similar safety concerns on our local trails.
Mike O'Neill works on bicycles all day long. The bike shop owner regularly rides the Cardinal Greenway.
I really don't hear of anything bad happening out there.
O'Neill has 2 children just a little older than the girls murdered last month on the Delphi Historic Trail.
I've let them, utilize the trail, on their own.
But he hit the brakes when he heard about the murders. The rules have changed for his wife and kids.
Unfortunately, there is a difference between me riding and my wife riding.
Hundreds of people utilize the Cardinal Greenway several times a week, and for some, safety is a big concern. Right now, the Cardinal Greenway has no future plans to update their current safety precautions.
The chief executive officer for the Cardinal Greenway says they can't afford cameras for the 62-mile trail. O'Neill still feels comfortable on the trail.
I'm fast, decent size. I'm not too worried. My wife, on the other hand, she will, ride with pepper spray. It's made for dogs, but it makes her feel better. If she had to spray it at somebody's face, she could.
A precaution that makes him feel a little better. In Muncie, Kelsey Anderson, NewsLink, Indiana.
Later on in the show, we will have your sports news.
And after the break, we'll tell you if you still need your winter gear in your full weather report. Coming up next.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
So this colder weather, we got to see from Tony over at the weather wall whether or not we're going to have warmer weather here or if St. Patrick's Day will be in the cold with any snow. Tony, what can you tell us?
Well, guys, luckily I have a little bit of good news. We are going to see just a little bit of a warm-up. That being said, though, we do have a little bit of rain coming our way. This rain system right here in Illinois will reach us by probably early tomorrow morning. You can see here in our almanac, we were just below average in a number of areas in our high and low, 41 for the high, 19 for the low. As you can see, both of those below average for the typical year. Current temperatures around the state, we're 42 in Indianapolis, 41 in Muncie, 40 in Kokomo, and 39 up in Fort Wayne. Roughly around low 40s, high 30s throughout the state. Now tonight we're looking at a low of 15 with north-northwest winds going 15 to 20 miles an hour. So be sure to keep warm if you are doing anything out tonight, and also avoid the on and off flurries that will likely head our way as well. Taking a look at PrecisionCast here, you see the storm systems coming in. Tomorrow morning might have some slick conditions with some ice and rain coming our way, making those roads a little bit more slick than we're used to. So be aware of that as you are heading into work in the morning. As we continue on throughout the day, though, all we'll see in the afternoon really is mostly just some rain. The snow and ice tends to move out of the way on into Ohio. Continuing on through the rest of the day and into Saturday morning, we'll see some flurries a little bit throughout northern Indiana and in our area here in Muncie. But beyond that, mostly clouds as we continue through the rest of the weekend. And then into Sunday, we'll see some clearer skies, a little bit of sunshine, and a little bit of a warm-up going into Monday as well. Now for your full St. Patrick's Day forecast, as you can see, we will be coming in at 54 degrees tomorrow for that enjoyment of the Irish heritage, if you will. Partly sunny and cool, so definitely a nice day to go out and enjoy that St. Patrick's Day celebration. Looking at our 7-day forecast, looking at 42 degrees tomorrow and Saturday, and of course moving on to a warmer weekend, 50 and 57 this weekend, and 49 as well on Tuesday, 57 on Monday. So we'll certainly see a little bit of a warm-up as we continue on throughout the week.
Definitely excited for that warm-up coming our way.
Yeah, excited for the St. Patrick's holiday.
Up next, we will check in with the Ball State women's tennis team.
Also find out where the women's golf team are jetting off to. All that and more in your Ball State Sports coming up next.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed.
Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore. So you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Good evening, everybody. Yesterday, the Ball State's women's team improved its spring march mark 11-2 on the season after a 7-0 sweep over Butler University in Indianapolis. The Cardinals started off well early in the game when they took a 1-0 advantage over the Bulldogs. They also dominated on every court, taking all points from Butler in the singles action. All 6 Cardinals won in straight sets. The women's tennis team continues spring action Sunday at home against Oakland at 1 o'clock, first serve at the Muncie YMCA Tennis Center. After that match, the Cardinals will begin Mid-American Conference action at Western Michigan on March 24th at 12 o'clock. Freshman Manon Tunlum fired the second-best round in Ball State's women's golf history yesterday. Tunlum carded a round of 4 under par 68 at Kinaho Clipper Golf Course, helping the team earn a score of 299. The Cardinals' open round 300 was their best away from home this season. Ball State moved up 1 spot on the final leaderboard into 12th place with a 54 total of 906. The team will return to action at the Kingsmill Intercollegiate March 27th to the 28th in Williamsburg, Virginia. U.S. Sports Camps announced that 2017 Nike Swim Camp will be held at the Llewellyn Aquatic Center this summer, giving eager young swimmers opportunities to improve their swimming skills. This summer, Ball State will host the 2017 Nike Swim Camp at the Llewellyn Aquatic Center. Head coaches Bob Thomas and Christy Patterson will be co-directing this week-long event with the help of student athletes and swimming coach staff members. While there, the campers will be placed in groups with other swimmers having similar skills and abilities and will work on their stroke technique in the 25-yard pool. The coaches will critique and evaluate their strokes on a daily basis to improve race strategies and stroke mechanics. They will also learn how to mentally and physically prepare for future competitions. This camp is open to any and all entrants between the ages of 8 to 18. The camp will be held June 18th to the 22nd and is recommended that all participants have competitive swimming experience. Ball State's gymnastics team will travel to Bowling Green, Ohio for the 2017 Mid-American Conference Championships Saturday, March 18th at 2 p.m. The Cardinals are currently ranked number 42 nationally above Bowling Green. Tickets for the MAC Championship are available through the Bowling Green ticket office. Ball State students have free admission and they meet with their student ID. The fan bus is also available in the courtesy of Ball State Gymnastics for only $5. Fans can follow the links on the Ball State webpage if unable to attend. Ball State men's volleyball match against Audison Broadus that was scheduled for this coming Saturday is canceled and will not be rescheduled. The number 11 Cardinals will return on Thursday, March 23rd in Lebanon, Illinois against Mevafoe McKendree at 7 p.m. Ball State then gets a second chance against the defending national championships, second-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes in the Columbus, Ohio, March 25th.
After the break, we will tell you who Ball State is sending off to the national music competition.
And our entertainment would not be complete without a look at what Muncie has to offer for St. Patrick's Day. So stick around.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy,
or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back. I'm Tatia Paradashvili with your entertainment news. After the long competitive audition process, the Ball State Wind Ensemble has been selected as one of the performing ensembles at the 2017 College Band Directors National Association National Conference. On this Tuesday, the Ball State Wind Ensemble gave the opportunity to the university community to hear the same concert prior to their departure to the National Conference. The concert was free and open to the public. Moreover, was offered as a live webcast on the concert webcast page. Rachel Lubinsky is a student at Ball State who saw the ensemble once before. Now she says she is hooked.
I had seen them earlier in another concert, and the conductor had introduced them and told them that they were recognized, so I thought I would come and see them again.
Gilmer Cavalcante, a graduate student with the School of Music, is a member of the ensemble. He is excited at the opportunity to showcase their hard work.
Oh, I feel great. It's a week that we've been working hard for that program, and we are all excited about the concert at the CBDNA conference.
The National Conference, which started yesterday, will be held until March 19 at the Kaufman Center for the Performing Arts in Kansas City. This is one of the most desirable venues a collegiate wind ensemble can perform at, and it is considered as a very high honor to be invited to perform. The accordionist from Ireland, Sharon Shannon, will dedicate tonight's show to St. Patrick's Day. The concert takes place at Immense Auditorium at 7:13 p.m. Renowned for her collaborations, not just Irish traditional music, but through all musical genres, hip-hop, country, classical, and rap. Did you know that St. Patrick's Day is celebrated in Ball State as well? For the very first time this Saturday, 60 American friendship families are invited at the Student Center. These families are participants of Friendship Family Program, and the purpose is to help international students to be more familiar with American culture. St. Patrick's Day will be another opportunity for these students to experience this holiday with American families. This is all for your entertainment news. I'm Tatia Paradashvili. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Tatia. Let's have one more final look here at the weather for St. Patrick's Day. Tony, what can you tell us?
Well, guys, we're in luck. It's going to be a little chance of a rain chance tomorrow for St. Patrick's Day, but as you look and see, we've got a little bit of a warm-up coming Sunday and Monday, 57 the high there on Monday with about a 30% chance of storms. Again, following though, no more chance of rain until Thursday, so that Tuesday, Wednesday area there looking pretty good. A little cloudy, but Wednesday should be a pretty nice day. 44, mostly sunny.
Definitely looking forward to that warm-up.
Absolutely. That's all for tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch Monday night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.
You've been watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.